$90,000 house renting for $1,300 a month, a borough that jumped 18% in 1 year, a river town sitting on a $25 million federal grant. These are 10 towns across the Philadelphia suburbs where the investment math actually works in 2026. I'm Jim Stevenson, a realtor here in the Philadelphia suburbs, and if you're looking at this market for your next deal, this is the breakdown that changes your focus areas. All right, so before we get into the list, you need to understand something about this market. The Philadelphia suburbs aren't one market. They're 4 counties with wildly different tax structures, school districts, housing stock, and tenant bases. Bucks County's median is around $510,000. Chester County is pushing $550,000. Montgomery sits at about $455,000, and Delaware County comes in at $331,000. That spread matters because your strategy has to match the market you're buying in. A cash flow play in Chester County looks completely different from a cash flow play in Delaware County. So every town on this list comes with a specific strategy attached. Not just buy here, more like buy here if you're doing this. The list price is never the real cost. Between municipal licensing, school tax variances, inspection requirements, the cheap house is often the most expensive one to own. That's why I run the full cost breakdowns with every investor I work with. Let's start at number 10 and work our way up. Number 10, Bristol Borough in Bucks County. This is the revitalization play. Bristol just landed a $25 million federal port grant to rebuild its waterfront. That kind of infrastructure money doesn't show up often. You're probably thinking a federal grant sounds nice on paper, but you want to know what it actually does to your rental. Here's what happens when a town gets this kind of investment. Jobs come first, then commercial activity, then residential demand follows because people want to live near where they work and spend money. Bristol's got a historic waterfront that feels like a movie set. Old brick buildings, river views, walkable streets, a handful of restaurants that are actually good. The housing stock is older, lots of row homes and twins, and prices are still in the low 300s. The catch is floodplain issues along the Delaware River, and the industrial legacy means you've got to do your environmental homework. But if you're looking at a 5 to 10 year hold, this is a town where you're buying before the curve, not after it. Number 9, Pottstown in Montgomery County. Pottstown is small multifamily territory. This is a river town with a big stock of 2 to 4 unit properties, Victorian conversions, and some row homes you can pick up for under $200,000. The state just pumped serious education funding into Pottstown School District. Governor Shapiro actually visited the district to highlight the investment. And that matters because school quality is the single biggest long-term driver of property values. When the schools improve, the tenant base improves. When the tenant base improves, rents stabilize. Now, Pottstown has rough patches. Some blocks are blighted. Sales can be slow. Financing on cheap multifamily can be tricky. And you need to know about the Rivera ruling, a court case that says the borough can't force warrantless inspections on your rental property without probable cause. That actually protects you as an investor, but the licensing requirement still stands. If you're comfortable with hands-on management and you want high cap rates on stabilized multifamily, Pottstown is where the numbers work. Number 8, Yardley in Bucks County. Yardley is your long-term single-family rental play. Small historic borough on the Delaware River, compact downtown, a handful of cafes, the canal running through town. Median price is around $430,000. Values jumped nearly 12% year over year, and there were only 5 sales in December, which tells you inventory is tight. You're getting Pennsbury School District here, strong academics, I-95 access, plus the Trenton commuter rail line, affluent tenant base, Lockheed Martin and other corporate employers nearby. The risk is that part of Yardley sits in the 100-year floodplain. That means FEMA flood insurance, which adds to your carrying costs, and property transfers require inspections. But for a buy and hold investor who wants reliable tenants and very low vacancy, Yardley really delivers. And if you want me to run this exact math on your short list of towns, book a call using the link in the description, or grab my free Philadelphia Suburbs relocation guide using the QR code on screen. Number 7, Coatesville in Chester County. This is the deep value add play, and honestly, it might be the most interesting story on this list. Coatesville just opened a brand new train station that's a direct Amtrak and SEPTA connection to Philadelphia and even New York via the Keystone Corridor. When a town gets rail access, the entire economics change. Commuters who couldn't consider the area suddenly can, and that shifts the buyer pool overnight. Median prices are around $375,000. That's about $175,000 less than the Chester County median. So you're getting Chester County infrastructure at a steep discount. But here's kind of the part that most investors miss. Coatesville is a tale of two markets. The Hill has distressed row homes you can pick up under $150,000. Meanwhile, new developments like the Cambria neighborhood are bringing workforce housing online. The school district is reorganizing, closing underperforming elementary schools to stabilize the tax base. The risk is real. The school district reputation still scares some buyers. Taxes are high. Rehab costs can surprise you, but that train station is a generational infrastructure upgrade. It will structurally change this town's trajectory over the next decade. I had a buyer last year, a landlord with 6 units in Norristown, and he drove out to Coatesville to look at a duplex near the new station. He kept checking his phone, pulling up the train schedule, doing the math on commute times. He looked at me and he said, "This is Conshohocken 10 years ago." Now, that's a bold claim, but he put in an offer that week. Number 6, Lansdale in Montgomery County. Lansdale is the steady, low-headache rental play. It sits on the SEPTA Lansdale-Doylestown line, which gives you and your tenants a direct shot to Center City. Median home value is around $483,000. You've got a hospital, school district offices, and SEI investments nearby. That means a broad tenant base, nurses, financial workers, hospital staff, teachers, people with stable jobs who pay rent on time. The town recently updated its rental licensing ordinances, which actually professionalizes the market, that weeds out slumlords and protects your asset value. The risk is modest appreciation. Lots of competition from newer multi-unit developments going up nearby. This isn't a home run, it's more of a base hit, but base hits compound, and Lansdale's been compounding for a long time. Number 5, Levittown in Bucks County. Levittown is the single-family rental machine. Mass-produced 1950s homes on decent lots. Levittowners, Jubilees, ranchers, you know the layouts because they're all standardized. Easy to renovate and easy to comp. Prices range from $250 to $400. Days on market sit around 17. Turnkey homes sell fast. Unrenovated units sit a bit longer, which is where your margin lives. You've got Pennsbury and the Chamonix school districts here both maintain property values even though the housing stock is 70 years old. Now here's the thing that every Levittown investor needs to know. Oil tanks. These homes were built with underground oil tanks. Removal can run from $1,900 to $3,000, but if that tank leaked, soil remediation can cost $10,000 or more. I walked a property in the apple tree section last month. Fresh paint, new kitchen, really looked perfect. Then I walked into the backyard and I saw a little copper pipe sticking out of the ground near the patio. That pipe kills the deal unless the seller removes the tank. Pennsylvania law requires disclosure of known defects, so it becomes a negotiation point. But you have to know to look for it. Never skip the tank sweep in Levittown. Number 4, Chester City in Delaware County. Chester is the cash flow king of this entire region, period. Median home price is about $90,000. 3-bedroom rents are running $1,300 to $1,500 a month. That price to rent ratio is something you almost never see this close to a major metro. You've got SEPTA regional rail access at Chester Transportation Center. I-95 is right there. The housing stock is classic Philadelphia-style twins and row homes. Average build year is 1953. Lots of 2 to 4 unit properties if you want to scale. But look, I'm going to be straight with you. Chester has a poverty rate above 30%. Crime is elevated in certain areas. The school district consistently ranks among the lowest in the state. Insurance costs can spike, especially near flood zones, and the city has strict landlord regulations with serious penalties for non-compliance. This is not a passive investment. If you buy blindly in Chester, it will show up in your expenses. You need a property manager who knows the area, a contractor you trust, solid insurance, and a thick enough skin to handle turnover. But if you're a turnaround investor who wants yields that most suburban markets can't touch, this is where the numbers are. Number 3, Phoenixville in Chester County. Phoenixville is the appreciation and value add play rolled into one. This town has completely transformed over the past decade. Breweries, restaurants, tech startups, a walkable downtown that draws people from 30 minutes away just for dinner. Population grew 6.8% from 2020 to 2023. Average days on market is 22. Sale to list price ratio is over 101%, which means homes are consistently selling above asking. Look, the easy flips in Phoenixville are mostly done. The low-hanging fruit got picked 5 years ago, but there are still older bungalows and Victorians near downtown that need updating. And the rental market is strong because people want the lifestyle, but can't afford to buy at $535,000. The spillover effect is real too. Investors priced out of Phoenixville are moving to Royersford, where the median is around 340, but the Rivertown energy is similar. The risk is high entry price, tight zoning, parking regulations that can eat into your ROI, and the school district taxes run $4,000 to $5,000 a year. But the demand isn't slowing down. If you buy right in Phoenixville, the market is doing most of the heavy lifting for you. Number 2, Norristown in Montgomery County. Norristown is the small multifamily capital of the Philadelphia suburbs. Dense borough, loaded with twins, row homes, and 2 to 4 unit properties. Median price is around $320. About 30% of recent sales were cash deals. That tells you how many investors are already in this market. You've got SEPTA's Norristown high-speed line, plus the Manayunk Norristown Regional Rail, I-76, I-476, Route 422. The transit and highway access here is hard to beat. And here's the big catalyst. The county just committed over $280 million to a campus redevelopment project right in the heart of Norristown. The Lafayette Street extension is being built out. The Justice Center workforce generates steady rental demand. The zoning specifically allows mid-rise apartments and mixed use in the town center district. I was standing in a duplex on West Marshall Street about 3 weeks ago. Great numbers on paper. The seller was bragging about the rent roll, but I asked to see the use and occupancy permit. He got quiet. Norristown requires a UNO inspection before settlement. If you don't factor that in, you're inheriting thousands of dollars in required repairs before you can legally collect a dime of rent. That's the difference between Norristown on a spreadsheet and Norristown in real life. The investors who do well here are the ones who factor in the inspection costs up front and treat the UNO as part of the acquisition number. And the number 1 town for investors in the Philadelphia suburbs right now is Conshohocken in Montgomery County. Conchi is the low headache appreciation play. Small borough, condo and townhouse development, and a median home price around $450. And that jumped nearly 18% in a single year. Comes down to location. You're right on I-76 and I-476. Merck's headquarters is nearby. Bala Cynwyd employers are a short drive. The white-collar commuter market here is deep and it's not going anywhere. The borough is tiny, which limits new supply. That keeps vacancy low and gives existing owners pricing power. Schools are Upper Merion, which are well rated, and the tenant profile is young professionals and empty nesters who pay market rate without drama. Now, this is not a cash flow play. The price to rent ratio doesn't scream cash flow. This is a play on asset appreciation, low vacancy, and really easy management. You're betting on a continued demand from a high income renter pool, and so far that bet has paid off every year. The risk is investor competition. It's fierce. Only 10 sales happened in December, and if interest rates normalize, the appreciation pace could flatten. But the structural advantages of Conshohocken's location aren't going away. Rail access, highway access, employer proximity, those are permanent. So here's what this all comes down to. The Philadelphia suburbs have deals across every strategy. Cash flow in Chester, multifamily scale in Norristown, appreciation in Conshohocken, value add in Coatesville and Phoenixville, volume single-family rentals in Levittown, but the tax math is different in every county. The tenant base is different in every town. And the regulatory environment, licensing, inspections, flood zones, oil tanks, all of it changes depending on where you buy. Picking the wrong town for your strategy is the most expensive mistake you can make. Now you know the 10 towns where the investment math works. But here's what most investors don't think about next. I scored 60 suburbs on what's actually moving prices in 2026. New train stations, billion-dollar logistics hubs, mixed-use developments transforming entire downtowns. And the number 1 suburb in that study tied with Exton in every single category. Most investors have never even considered it. Watch this video next because I'll show you where the catalysts are landing before they show up in comps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.